Sing to the rock, sing to the tree, sing to the firefly lighting up the sky. Sing, sing to the sea.
Hello, I'm Mary Whelan, and this is The Song, a show that features songwriters and their original songs. And today, I am very pleased to present Nancey Tucker.
Thanks, Mary. I'm going to start with a song I wrote about animals. It's actually a song about all the different expressions that people use that have to do with animals. And I had enough left over to write a whole other song, but this is what came out. You're a vegetable with your turnip nose, and you're a mineral, so you'll never decompose. You're bigger than a bread box. Oh, please don't flip your lid, 'cause what I'm about to say might sound kind of stupid. But you're an animal. You're always horsing around. I often see you eating chocolate mousse. You're as stubborn as a mule sometimes, but darling, that's okay. I've really gone ape over you. You're an animal. You've really got my goat. The things you say make me hide away like a kid, and sheepishly I chicken out. But it's true without a doubt, I've gone hog wild over you. Sometimes I think you're shellfish, 'cause you're acting kind of fishy, especially when you take money out of the kitty. You say, dear, can you give me a little dough? And when I say no, you say, oh, just give me a buck. You're an animal. You're always badgering me. You're so full of bull, I just can't bear it. 'Cause when you call me tiger, I always know you're lying. My little lamb, I'm crazy over you. Last time we played Go Fish, I thought you were a card shark, and I suspected foul play. But then I said, oh, hogwash, you're such a doggone bore. How could I ever think you were a cheetah? You're an animal. You always yak, yak, yak. An animal. Sometimes you flounder around. An animal. Don't try to weasel out my little bird brain. Your goose is cooked. I'm happy as a clam over you. One day I was hanging up my laundry, and I started thinking about elephants. And I wondered how difficult it must be for elephants to hang up their laundry, because they've got these huge hands and these little tiny clothespins. So I wrote an instrumental called Elephant Laundry Day. And then I transferred it to this tiny guitar, and it has a higher voice, and it didn't sound like elephants anymore. So I wondered what would be the equivalent of an elephant in the insect world. And I thought, bumblebees. Now, what most people don't know is that bumblebees are really very skinny. They just wear these huge sweaters that are black and yellow, and they fly around, and it's really difficult. So on laundry day, when they take off the sweaters, they do a little happy dance, because all of a sudden they're liberated. Of course, that's very difficult to do when you have an exoskeleton. So I wanted to change the title of this to Bumblebee Laundry Day.
Well, those songs were great. I really enjoyed them.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed envisioning bumblebees doing laundry, washing their sweaters.
And that's all they wear, just sweaters.
That's it.
They're nice and long.
Black and yellow stripe.
Yeah.
So, anyway, and I would imagine that's something you do for children sometimes.
No,
you do.
Actually, instrumentals don't seem to work.
They
well
don't work
for
well
children.
with kids.
No,
Okay.
they don't have the attention span for them.
All right. So
Which is too
they
bad.
work better for the inner children of adults.
Yes.
Then maybe. Yes.
Yes.
With those
I'm
stories. in front
Always
of them.
trying to reach the inner child of an adult.
Now, I'm aware that you have gotten, speaking of music for children, that you've gotten a lot of awards for your Escape of the Slinkies.
Yes.
Are you going to be doing anything from that today or not?
No,
No?
actually, I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think so.
All right.
Well,
And
maybe one. Maybe.
okay.
Not sure. But
Now, are
the
any of
spirit-
those songs you're doing today on any of your CDs?
The animal song is on
Okay.
Happy as a Clam, and it's on Treasures from the Attic.
Uh-huh.
And Elephant Laundry Day, well, it's now Bumblebee Laundry Day,
Right.
which is completely different, but it's on Playing with Fire as Elephant Laundry Day.
Oh.
And Stronger Than Dirt is on Glad That You Asked, which is another
Uh-huh.
children's song, which they can dance to,
Uh-huh.
you know. And 100 Marbles is on a couple of.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I keep looking down. I have my list on the floor.
Yes. Set list is down there on the floor. So now you do a variety of music, you have a variety of gigs that you do for different audiences.
Yes.
You play for children, play for adults, you play for senior citizens and stuff too, and you are also a comedian. We just saw you a very skilled guitarist, and so you have very multi-talented. It's like no wonder you're really busy. You have a lot of gigs coming up and stuff,
Yeah.
you know, and that's great. Like the Wilderness Women's Weekend in Rhode Island. So it's adult women.
And they're wild.
And they're wild.
Yes, they are.
But then you also this summer will be doing all sorts of camps for children and a family concert and like a lot of things coming up. That's
Yeah.
great. And so you keep very busy with all of your different talents. It's wonderful. Yeah. So anyway, why don't you do another song, one more song, and then we'll talk a little more.
All right.
Okay.
I used to practice in a laundry room, and laundry rooms have great acoustics. Sounds like you have a giant sound system. So I would go in there and I would practice. And the other reason I really liked the laundry room to practice in is because there's a whole line of plugs on the wall, and each plug had 3 holes in it, so it looked like I had a giant audience that was going, ooh. So I wanted to write a song for the washing machines. This is an instrumental, and it's called Stronger Than Dirt. The Dark Load. You know how the washing machine just stops and you don't know if it's ever going to start again, and it's in the middle of a cycle and you just... Thank you.
A lot of fun. You have a lot of fun playing guitar, don't you?
I do.
That's great. And you share it with other people. That's wonderful. Now, I wanted to ask about where people will find information about you online and how to contact you and all that.
I have a website at nancytucker.info because .com was taken. So it's easy to find, and you can find just about anything on there. My bio is rather short.
I didn't see bio. Oh, you need a bio.
I know. I have to revamp the website, but it serves its purpose at the moment.
Now, is there another website besides that, or is it just Nancy?
Well,
the Nancy Tucker
.biz
info?
works too.
Oh, okay.
But it's the same website.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just two different addresses.
But it gets you to the same place.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And you are on Facebook and.
I am. I have a fan page there, and I also have a regular Facebook page.
Great. And anywhere else, can people hear your music on your site, or do they need to go to somewhere else to hear your music?
Well, there's a lot on YouTube.
There's a lot on YouTube.
So if you type my name in, you should be able to. There's somebody else named Nancey Tucker on there, but she's not a musician. So
if you
look for music.
Google Nancey Tucker musician.
Right.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Then people will find you there. That's good. Now, you still live in Connecticut?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
In Goshen, Connecticut.
Yep.
That's okay. And so you had a bit of a ride to get here today. Yeah.
Longer than it should have been.
Yes. Yes, somehow things got delayed. Huh?
Yes, they did.
So it seems like everywhere there's road work and stuff these days.
And school buses.
Yeah, and school buses
and
will interfere with
somebody
things
who was learning
too.
to drive.
Oh, yeah. Just about anything that could interfere with you getting happened. So, but anyway, and you've been in I don't know if you still are, but you used to be involved with the Connecticut Songwriters Association.
And I've been to a meeting in a while, but they are wonderful.
Yeah. And at one point, we brought this up at the last one, you received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Connecticut Songwriters Association.
I've done everything I need to do.
We were thinking about, well, gee, you're kind of young for a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Give up now, Nancy.
Give up. They want you to retire.
Right. We've had enough, please.
So, well, anyway, I'm so glad that you could come again.
Me too.
And I really enjoy your music so much. And maybe though, before you do some more music, let's talk a little bit about what you might advise young or aspiring songwriters, even if they're not young.
Yeah, they don't have to be.
They don't have to be young.
No.
What would you advise aspiring songwriters?
Just probably having as many experiences as possible, so there's something to write about. and seeing as many musicians as possible and talking to a lot of people and finding your own style. I mean, I think there were a lot of people who told me in the beginning that I had to follow a formula with my songs, and that's not how I write. And it took me a while to realize that that's not how I write, and I thought I was doing it wrong. And I think that, you know, my songs are like story songs, and that's okay. That's what the kind of songs that Harry Chapin wrote. He was very popular. So just find your own style, I guess I would.
And you certainly have. And you've certainly done very well with it, you know, and you're very, very busy doing gigs all over the place, and it's great. It's great. And you're not ready to retire.
No.
Okay. Well, how about a couple of more songs before you do retire, okay?
This song is brand new. Of course, you wouldn't know that if you've never seen me before, so I just need to tell you that it's brand new, and the reason I wrote it is because I just have this thing about the dictionary. I like to sit in the bathtub and read the dictionary. And it's, you know, it's difficult when you bring the bathtub, when you actually bring the dictionary into the bathtub, because once it's in there, you can't get it out. So I just leave it in there between baths. And there's a lot of comedy in the dictionary. I looked up the word remit. The word remit means to send back. So when I get a bill in the mail that says, please remit, I just send it right back. So I looked up the word bat, and that's where this song came from. A bat could be a club they use in baseball. A bat could be a drinking bout or spree. There are folks who like to bat around ideas to consider or discuss informally. There are bats that serve as platforms in ceramics, and cotton batting used for stuffing quilts. Some people bat their eyes when they are flirting. Makes no difference if they wear a skirt or kilt. But none of the above could eat mosquitoes or find them with their sonar as they zoom. No, that's a right reserved for bats who fly by night, those acrobats whose spotlight is the moon. So if somebody says that you are batty, or perhaps they say your belfry's full of bats, if you think that it's insultuous or catty, just remember all the virtues of a bat. And next time they are at your house for dinner, make sure that you are hanging upside down. And if they want to have a conversation, move your lips, but do not make a sound. Here's to people and to bats who feel misunderstood. You belong in the world, and your presence is welcome and it's good. Here's to all living things, the tiny, the thin, and the thick. You're essential. I have one question. What on earth is the purpose of a tick? Every year I go back to the same school in New York, and one year the first grade teacher called me and asked me if I would write a song about the first grade class. And I said, well, sure. You mean about the first grade class? No, she said, for the first grade class. I said, okay, well, is there something in particular you want me to write the song about? And she said, why, yes. I want you to write the song about the number 100. I said, why? She said, well, that's what we're studying this year in school. All year. One number. I thought those children will never graduate. You know, every year it'll be a new number. They'll never get to infinity. They'll just be in school for the rest of their lives. So I said, okay, I'll write a song about the number 100, but I've got to find a place to write this. So I went to Friendly's Restaurant, which is a great place to write. They have crayons and they have placemats. And the other reason it's good to write at Friendly's is because you have lots of time. That's why they don't call it Speedies. So I wrote this song on a placemat, and it turned out to not just be for first graders, it turned out to be for anyone. And it is about the number 100. I've got 100 marbles in my pocket. I'm afraid my pants will fall down. So I bought 100 balloons to tie to my belt. Now I'm floating over the town. There are 100 people below me with 100 ideas of how to bring me down. But if they could see the beautiful view from here, they wouldn't want to be on the ground. Every cloud is made of 100 raindrops, every bird of 100 feathers. I can see them real clear, and I have no fear that my dreams will be drowned by the weather. 'Cause I've got hundreds of hopes, hundreds of dreams, millions of reasons to go on. And wherever I am, on the sea or the sand, that's exactly where I belong. Yes, wherever I am, wherever I land, that's exactly where I